It was good. I thought it was a good spring game or showcase. Sorry, good spring showcase. It was really enjoyed getting a chance to have our fans back in Doak Campbell. It was a really good atmosphere. Great to see a lot of our players. I mean, 20 guys. That was the first time that they got a chance to go out. Obviously some newcomers that are still going through the process of rehabilitation from off-season injuries, but really excited about the work and competitiveness I'm seeing from this team. I thought today really showed some flashes on both sides. Some good things that showed up. Some young guys that got a chance to get out there and showcase a variety of different talents and areas that they've grown in their game. Some older veterans put on at a high level, so I thought it was a good day. And there was times where the defense had great sequences of getting stops, and then offense responded and was able to create some explosives and move the ball down the field. And, I just thought it was a competitive day. And I think we're continuing to get better. So I like what I saw.
First question will be Ira.
You talked about Kentron having a really good spring, but to see him do it on that stage, in the stadium, how good was that? And you seem to be really excited by one of his blocks as well as the catches.
Yeah, I mean, Kentron, he's made big plays in big games, and so he's done that. And what I like is the consistency that I'm seeing, from that. And we knew when he got here that he was very talented. Kind of a unique situation. He only played 1 year. His 1 year high school football. Really had to come into his own, and you see just the development, the growth, and I mean it's a great job by him putting in the work, a great job by Coach Dugans and the overall development of him. But you can see he's a well-rounded player too. And with Johnny not going today, I was excited to see where Kentron would go with that moment, and he definitely did not disappoint. And it wasn't just with the ball in his hands. I think it was Rodney, one of Rodney's touchdowns. I believe it was Rodney. He's 30 yards down the field with a big block that helped spring the touchdown. And so I love seeing that type of effort and just growth from all individuals. But I think he's really set himself up to have a good season, and I'm excited what he's going to be able to do to continue to impact this team.
Stay on that road for Matt Baker.
Hey Mike, Rodney Hill had a couple of scores today. What did you see from him, and what did you kind of see the most growth from him this spring?
Yeah, just confidence, understanding, where to be, obviously the finer details of, how to do it, and then, he's letting his playmaking ability take over. And, I was really happy, he caught one on the touchdown catch. Rodney's hard on himself, and he really, he approaches the game the way it should be approached, and he wants to be great. He wants every play to be great. And actually in Thursday's practice, there was a play, at the end of the practice where he missed an opportunity, and you let a pass kind of get away from him, that in a big moment, and he was really upset about it afterwards. And I talked to him that night. And I said, Coach, I have to make that play. And it was the same play that he came back today and was able to make it over the shoulder, really nice touchdown catch with it. And I was just like, that's what you want to see. And he's very young, redshirt freshman. He's still got a lot in front of him. But when you approach each rep the way he does, and you take the ownership, I mean, it's not all going to be perfect. I mean, there's going to be good and bad that shows up throughout the journey. But he's really a remarkable young man, and I'm just excited about what his future is going to hold. And he's showing that he's going to be able to help us at a very high level, which what we fully expected coming into this year.
Go to Brendan.
Kevin Vogt had 2 takeaways, possibly for different scores against it. It was live action. So what did you see from today, just generally this entire spring?
Yeah, Kalen's a guy that he's got to be one of those heartbeats for us, and he's been here since we came through the door as a coaching staff. Probably as much growth from a young man from that first day to where he is now. Just in all things. I mean, his attitude, his approach. if he's not exceptional on a day, it really shows up. Like if he's not bringing that type of intensity, because that's just who he is. And I thought it was great today to see him get a couple takeaways. Be able to, both in good situations. One on interception, one on a when the ball got to the ground. Just being around the ball, being active, being physical. I think he's put himself in position to have a really good year upcoming, and we need him to, because he definitely is somebody that a team can feed off of. And, obviously his energy and explosiveness, and just a really good playmaker.
All right, next will be Chris Neal, front row to your right.
What did you think of the performance of the four quarterbacks, and especially Brock doing it in front of the biggest audience he's ever dealt with?
Yeah, I think it was good. I mean, I think there was good, and there were some plays that are very teachable moments for all four of them. And I thought they did a good job of responding. There was Brock had a series where he missed a couple throws early. I was glad to see him come back at the end and have that touchdown drive. Just not to let it go the other way. And even AJ, there was a series that I thought he was just a little hesitant in some of the decision making, and to be able to come back. And I thought he had a really good drive at the end as well. So I'm really pleased with the growth in that room. There's a lot of competition. I think Tate has done a great job continuing to push to take another step. And I know I've talked about it all year. And Jordan, he's really working to improve. And even today it was not perfect, and there was things that he knows in the moment where it could be better, and things that he knows where he can even be more efficient. But I mean, the throw to Kentron, the rhythm and timing on that, it was beautiful. I was getting to stand right behind it. I mean, he couldn't have placed the ball any better. And it was well before Tron even came out of his break. The ball's in air, and it's what you want to see. And that type of control, command, and confidence is something that's going to be big for us, and all those guys are pushing forward.
We'll come here to Kyle, in the front to your left.
Coach, similar to the spring, you talked about the word better and these guys getting better each and every day. Was today another step in that right direction of seeing these guys do that?
Yeah, I think so. And I mean, I think defensively, our defensive front, we want that to be a forcing unit. And I mean, you saw some great opportunities where they were making things really challenging to be able to run the ball in some spots. You see guys that are flying around. It's the way they were attacking, being able to create some pressure was really good. We have some newcomers there on the offensive line, some guys that are experienced. We tried to hold Maurice and Darius didn't get a whole lot of work today. Obviously, Rob's out, so we have a lot of new faces that are working with the offensive line. But it was great film, great opportunity for those guys to see, to learn, to continue to push the efficiency and execution for us. And, I think we've improved, and we're going to have an unbelievable summer. We're going to have a great fall camp. I've got a lot of confidence that this team will continue to invest for what they're capable of doing, and just continuing to get better.
Stay over here for Essen.
Yeah, Coach, you guys have the spring showcase today. Then you have one more practice Monday. Was that just your plan? What do you want to get out of the showcase to take the Monday's practice?
No, I mean ideally I'd love to do that every year, because it's so many years in my coaching career coming up. You would have a spring game, spring showcase in our situation, but you would have that opportunity, and then coaches get on the road, and it's just all the things with recruiting, and so you would really miss out on a chance to go through and really get some of those finer details of teaching, and then just getting back on the field and having that fundamental approach with special teams. We'll be able to go through some variations of look and preparation of things that you might see, some things that maybe offensively our defense wasn't maybe didn't get to see as much of, or want to continue to work, or vice versa. Offensively getting different defensive looks. We do a lot, so it's a lot of not a ton that we need to really work much extra on, but it is about the finer details, and anything that has been maybe a reoccurring issue in spring, kind of clean that up and help guys understand the expectation for when they're out there, and it's player-led opportunities in the summer and, you know, what they can do. And, you know, the great thing is with some of the rule changes and what we're able to do with meetings and being around our guys, I mean, it just definitely helps so much.
Stay here for Kurt.
Looking at the bigger picture, I think you knew a lot about this team coming in the spring. A lot of guys played a lot of football for you over the last 3 years. Did you learn anything about this team this spring?
I mean, I thought they worked, and yeah, I know they. I mean, it's one thing. You know, we have to have an edge. I mean, it's critical. It's absolutely critical. That's what this team's built on. It's built on that edge of work, toughness, physicality. You know, going out and getting better, and that's where, you know, when people don't think you're worth a crap, it's not hard to have an edge. You know, people start telling you that, you know, they think you're pretty good. You know, you've got to maintain that focus and that drive of self-improvement and blocking out all the things that, you know, all the things you didn't listen to a year ago. You know, you talk about, well, you don't need to listen to them now. And it's truly about leaving the field every day or leaving, you know, the weight room or the classroom and saying, did I give my best? Did I get better? And if you can achieve that, then you got a chance. And I think this team, it is more player-led than any team that we've had, and that's what it should be. You know, I want to be coach-inspired. I want our coaches to make sure that we're teaching, we're inspiring these guys, we're pushing them, showing them all the things that they can do, but I want the players to have the ownership of taking the reins and making sure that the standard is showing up on a daily basis.
We'll go back to Brendan.
New uniforms were unveiled towards the end of the showcase. The reactions were pretty positive on Twitter, which is hard to do that universally. How much input did you have in that? I guess what's that mean to the program to have that step forward?
No, I mean, it's great, and it's something it is something that we've definitely discussed. You know, Jason Mason, you know, was remarkable. You know, our partnership with Nike and just the collaboration, our athletic department. You know, we work together through it. You know, I love the traditional, you know, look that it shows, but also you know, with the representing the Seminole tribe and keeping that a part of what we're doing, and making sure that still has its strong place in the uniform, but still getting back to that classic Florida State that's, you know, so well appreciated. And you know, I think it's a great looking uniform. I think they've done a wonderful job. And excited to see our guys wearing it here this fall.
All right, last one will be Ira.
It's not really related to the game today, but the portal calendar, I guess, opens back up again now for a couple weeks. Is that something, do you like the fact that, like this, where it is, falls down the calendar, and how does it change your guys' approach? Do you have to have kind of new exit meetings again to just make sure where everybody's on the same page, or how do you?
We're going to have, you know, we'll have exit meetings, and being able to, you know, that's been something that, you know, the last few years I've tried to have. So we'll have that practice, and we'll also have meetings that are surrounding that with position coaches. You know, next week I'll have, you know, the following week I'll have all my, you know, head coach exit meetings with each player. I think it's always good to be able to get an understanding of where guys you are, you know, the things that need to be, you know, continue to be improved on, and you'll be able to go from there. And you know, it's always great to get the feedback of the player's perspective, and then, you know, just, you know, our perspective for them as well. And so, in the day of age of the transfer portal and you know, opportunities, you know, I'm sure that it'll be interesting, you know, across the country. But you know, it's I really like where we are, and you know, I like this group we have, and you know, it'll be good conversations for us to have as individuals and as a team.
All right, thank you, Coach.